Hi,
everybody.
everyone.
I think you guys
Welcome.
can hear us. There you go. Hi. So we're back. I know it's random,
Yeah.
but we just do it as we have time.
Yep.
Hey, Brandorf, how are you?
Hi.
Okay. So go ahead, Eileen.
So, welcome to Casual Conversation with GNA. And we're bringing conversation 83 stages of life.
So Eileen kind of wanted to talk about this. I don't know. She found it interesting.
Yeah.
So hold on. Let me see what this does. Oh, this is cool.
So, I guess like where I was headed with this was, like as you age, it's obviously different stages of your life. And
Mm-hmm.
you kind of prioritize things in different ways, right? Or just other things become your priority as you age. So, yeah, different stages, right?
Hi, Kelly. Thanks for showing up. So, Miss Ozzy, Miss Sue,
Hi,
Ozzy Sue,
everyone.
how are you, friend? Hey, John, I haven't seen you in like forever. How are you? I hope you're well. Um, yeah, so I thought it was interesting because I mean you live life and then you kind of like I don't know, for me, like the reality of it kind of hit me as soon as like my 30 hit.
Okay.
Like I turned 30 and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like the priorities I had before are not the same as the priorities I have now." And so I feel like things start to changing, your body starts changing, you start feeling differently, you're not like at your 100 like you used to be when you were young and you were able to eat everything and stay up late, right? Late
Yeah.
nights
Yeah.
and partying, right? All that fun stuff. And so as soon I feel like as you age, it's like, oh, I don't know if it catches up or if it's just like, okay, that's not the same. It's not the same anymore. That's not what's important. So
Yeah. And I mean, I just thought it was like an interesting topic to talk about because of like just how priorities change
yeah,
and like the way you think changes too, right?
sure does. And like you guys know, we're casual conversation. We talk about everything. It
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily always means like the paranormal. I mean, which we kind of find it interesting, but we were kind of we if we find something interesting, we'll bring it up and just talk about it. And you guys are more than welcome to um, you know, comment on it or share. So yeah. So here we go. We're gonna start. Go, Eileen.
So, 6 stages of life and its essential lessons. So it's going to be based on age ranges, right? So, a couple, like a question. Do you ever wonder if your experiences are common at your stage of life, or are you simply curious about what's next? That's why we will cover the 6 phases of human life. Understanding the stages of life gave me an aha moment. It brought a new perspective to my struggles and frustrations. After all, we often feel alone during adversity, but our experiences are rarely unique. And the life stages can provide clarity for you too. That said, no one follows the same human life cycle, so keep in mind that the ages and timeline are averages. And if you feel behind on the curve, and if you feel behind on the curve, that's okay. So, what is a life stage? Life stages are the phases from birth to death through which we develop and grow. Each stage covers an age range during which most people share common interests, desires, feelings, thoughts, experiences, values, and of course, a level of maturity. For example, most people's responsibilities radically differ between their childhood and adult life. So we're going to be getting into 6 phases of human life. When zooming out and looking at an entire life cycle from the lens of self improvement and success, you can conclude that life goes through 6 stages. Each phase comes with a new stage of maturity and upgraded role in society and a unique chapter of personal development. But each step has its common pitfalls too. Let's dig into the typical patterns of life. So, stage one is childhood. And
Hi, Eric.
so, the childhood one ranges from ages 0 to 12. So,
Which is, I feel like childhood is probably the most important
It
when it
is.
comes to establishing your personality, your temperament, right? Like the way you're gonna
be for the rest of like, well, for the majority.
yeah,
of
and it
your,
also
like,
encompasses like your how do I
it's
say it?
definitely an important chapter.
Yeah, because that's when your traumas are triggered, right? When you start to
Yeah.
feel, depending
Where
on
you
your
observe, where
experiences.
you absorb the most.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so to me, I feel like that's probably the most important time, and especially for kids,
Mhm.
because that's when they're learning about life. They're exposed to different things. And so I feel like for me, it's important to establish that attachment, right? Safe attachment and relationships, and to feel confident, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's
I think
pretty.
that's,
It's important, dude.
developing secure attachment, for your children. I think that's really
Hello,
important,
Grandmaster.
especially for like, those beginning stages. So it says birth is a wonderful event for the parents, but also comes with many responsibilities. Their impact is enormous throughout the early years of your life. It shapes your rules and basic understanding. It's a phase at which you copy almost all behaviors from walking to your foundational values and beliefs. And through play, you rapidly learn the basics to survive. The pitfall: poor parental supervision or engagement can lead to trust issues. And
Yes.
on the other side, overprotection can lead to low self esteem. That's why parents bear such a huge responsibility at this phase
Like, really?
of life. Yeah, it is not easy.
Dude,
To be
being
a
a parent
parent-
is hard.
Like, that is like one of the biggest jobs and like the most difficult job you'll get in your life, but also like there's no book or like nothing you can base yourself off of, like, oh, am I doing a good job, as a parent?
Yeah.
You're just winging it. So you just,
I feel like nobody is taught how to be a parent. Like,
yeah.
and I feel like education is helpful to learn about maybe the importance of the childhood development, how they develop, their brain. And I don't know. I mean, I studied that. So I kind of, to me, I kind of, I thought as a parent, I got this. I'm going to be the best
Yeah.
parent ever. But once you're there, it's like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. Like all my
Yeah.
education, it's like it goes out the window and you're just like survival mode. I need to make sure these kids are surviving and thriving. So, but not only for like thinking about us, right? If you think about your childhood, you start thinking about what was important to you. What memories do you have? Are they mostly
Yeah.
good
You do-
memories
you
or
do
bad
think
memories?
about that.
And then you just kind of think about it and you're like, man, like I miss that. I
Yeah.
miss being a kid. I'm sure everybody here misses being a kid, right? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it was the best time. You didn't have to worry about
You
anything,
didn't.
just having fun, learning, playing. But the other thing is, hi, Bama.
Hi.
The other thing is that times are changing. So the way that we used to play is not the same as what kids are going
It
through
is
now.
not.
And I feel like technology is so much more advanced now that kids have I feel like their fun is video games or being on TV, apps. And for us it was like the outdoors,
Yeah.
like let's go outside and let's go play and let's go enjoy nature. And so I kind of feel like that's kind of
Yeah,
sitting in the back burner
and
now, which is sad.
it is sad.
And that's when parents have to come in and kind of, hey, let's put away everything and let's go out. Let's go
Yeah.
outside. And the funny thing is, I was watching like some videos on TikTok of some, like one of the neighbors that she was posting. and there was kids that were sent outside to play, and they didn't know what they were doing. So they were just doing these like flossing, dancing, and
Oh
they were
my
just like
gosh.
pulling tree leaves off, and it was funny to watch
Yeah.
because it's like teenagers that don't know how to play outside.
Yeah.
Which, in my neighborhood here, like earlier, I saw like two dads that had their kids out there, and
Aw,
they were playing basketball, and I thought that was
that's
so cute
nice.
because I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's see. I grew up in an apartment that was hooked up to a auction, so life as a kid was always an adventure. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Hello, Tales Told in the Dark. How are you?
Hi. So I'm just gonna, go over some key characteristics at this stage in life. So maturity is dependent. Role in society, you're just playing, right?
Yeah.
Personal growth, copying values and beliefs, right?
So they copy you.
Kind of
like
you're a
they-
sponge.
yeah.
Definitely. Learning phase, life essentials and primary education. Relationships, building trust.
Mhm.
Common pitfalls, trust issues, and low self-esteem. Yeah, you know what? It's because that's a big one.
That's hard because I feel like I am an overprotective parent.
Honestly,
and so like now I'm kind of worried that I'm
Shout-
like building like a low self-esteem.
no,
but-
I feel like they're good. They're good. Like I think that, that's one of the big ones, building trust within your kids. And I think that that's why it's like really important to make sure you're like developing a secure attachment with your children. So,
Yeah.
they go out into the world and,
And that's another thing. We grew up with overprotective parents. Our parents were like over the top, overprotective.
helicopter parents.
Yeah, but I feel like my self-esteem is fine. Like I don't think that's something that I mean, maybe occasionally I feel like people have that, like where you think, oh, I can change this, or I would rather be like this, but it's not to where it's like, bad, that I would say.
Mhm.
I mean, and I know you have your self-esteem is great as far as I've observed.
I think like important thing is like, okay,
Hi,
like
Ron, how are you?
let's
Thanks
say
for coming.
you do come to a point where you realize that, because let's be honest, our parents, they did the best they can.
Yes.
The best they could. And, if you realize that, and like, as you get older, you get like the opportunity to like change what you don't like, like really work on yourself, fix things.
Yeah.
If you do have like low self-esteem, or like, you really have that time to like, hey, I could change whatever,
Yeah,
is
to
the
analyze
problem.
maybe.
Yeah. So,
So that's the first stage.
yeah.
So which is pretty interesting, and it's pretty good to know. That way
Yeah.
you can be ready for
Very
it.
important, man. Building trust.
To me,
Number
I think
one
I
for a
think at that
child.
age, the most important thing is for them to feel
like kids.
to feel a sense of like a good attachments, like have good attachments, healthy attachments, and to feel safe, and to feel
Loved.
that their needs are met, that their needs are being met, and that they're loved. Yeah. And I think that kind of will set the stage for them to grow up to
honestly,
be.
for all the rest of the other stages, it will definitely set it up. Definitely.
Because dude, think about it. And that's when like even like trauma as infants, and this is something that you don't think about, even as infants, if they are exposed to trauma, that will grow with them. Like they will grow up feeling
Absolutely.
insecure, feeling like their needs are not being met, right? Like, and that's crazy because there's this Dr. Bruce Perry, and he would talk about the brain development of children and how it affects them, and how, you would think that as an infant they don't remember, but that insecurity, that fear, or that trauma is still there. It'll follow them into adulthood. So I don't know. It just trips me out.
It does. And I don't know, I lost my thought already. It was a good one, but I guess.
Okay, go ahead.
So adolescence, right? Ages 13 to 20. During the teenage years, you transition from being dependent to independent while becoming more responsible for your actions. You still have a safety net. Fun and experimentation characterize this phase. Think about going out and perhaps even having sex for the first time. It's also a time when people explore society's boundaries and experiment with legal forbidden stuff. But it's also a period of self discovery. You become aware of your self identity, and you may also struggle with questions like, who are you? What are you good at in life? What's most important to you? What interests excite you? What interests you and excites you, you
Yeah,
know?
that's pretty crazy.
What career would you like to pursue? Social interactions are also crucial at this age. You want to have friends and feel included in a group, and the social drivers are validation and acceptance. That's also the key pitfall at this phase.
Mm-hmm.
People who don't feel included struggle during this time. And if they're not encouraged in other ways, they risk developing fears and feelings of inferiority. So, key characteristics, right? Maturity, transition from dependence to independence, role in society, experimenting, personal growth, self discovery, learning phase, secondary and early higher education, relationships, validation and acceptance, common pitfalls, developing fears. So,
Do you remember your those years, your teen years?
wait, it's because I was trying to remember why I was like, no, I forgot. It won't come back to me. Why?
You probably have to read it again, and then
Yeah.
it'll come back. Yeah, no, that kind of scares me. Like my kids going into teenage years is scary to me. Like I don't know why. It just freaks me because
Man,
I mean, I wasn't a bad kid,
teens these
but
days.
some of those things are real, are true, right? Some of those
Yeah,
things, like you
yeah.
do want to like kind of, what does it say?
It was
You're
on the page.
exploring, right? You're
Yeah.
exploring, you're trying to figure out your place in society. You care about what people think about you, your
Yeah.
friends, how cool you are in school. And then even bullying, dude, like that's another big thing for like teens, you know? And then there's a lot
Yeah.
of like bad stuff going on in school, and you're scared, and you know, so it's kind of like it's scary.
There's a lot like going on like in teenage years. Like there's a lot that goes on, man. And then like especially these teens these days.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's scary. And like, you know, because we're a big family, like,
Yeah.
and we have teens in our family, and we talk to them, and the things they tell us that are going on in schools, it's
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
scary. And it just gets you thinking like, man, how do I prepare?
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say.
What were you gonna say?
So like what I was gonna say about like childhood was like, you know, the importance of building trust, right?
Mhm.
Because like their first relationship is the relationship they have with their parents, right? So that's like the foundation for like how relationships are gonna go for them throughout like, you know, as they grow throughout their stages in life, you know.
Mhm.
So that's why it's so important to build like a secure attachment with your children so they don't go out and like build like relationships that ain't good for them, you know?
Yeah.
Like with their partners.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
yeah, it's like crucial, man. It's crucial.
So yeah, you guys, I don't know, teens,
yeah, teens, I don't know.
and then you
Honestly.
start to rebel, right? You start to like, oh, it's my life, you know,
Yeah,
mind
from
your
13 to
business.
20, 13 to 20, yeah, like man. And then some of the stuff they say these days, I don't understand. Like half of this stuff, I'm like, where are you getting this from? Like,
So, and then here's one of the things for me personally as a teenager. I think the thing that kept me from rebelling and doing a lot of bad things too was my faith. Like, you know, the fact that I believed in God and I had morals that I had to stand by, and but also like the relationship with my parents. I didn't want to like do something that was going to make them feel um ashamed or embarrassed or angry at me, right? So I kind of think that's also when you establish that relationship with your kids, right? You have to kind of have expectations for them and let them know, hey, this is what would make me
Yeah.
disappointed of you if you ever did this.
I think that's a good point. Like that's a good point in life for them as
Yeah.
they're growing. Like that's a good
Yeah,
moment to,
instilling
like,
morals. And I think, to me, like, faith does play a big role. I try to teach my kids about it, and I feel like that, to me, it helped me in a personal level. So um I think that that's important. And then also who they hang around with, what their
yeah,
interests are, I don't know. My teen year, I think I was a good kid, okay?
yeah.
You were definitely, I think, was definitely a good teenager. Like,
Dude, I don't even
she's
remember
like,
being
you're
a
like
teen.
the what is it, like, the teen any parent would want, because you were very, Eileen was very, like, to herself, very chill, like, not the partier, right? Like the book reading, studying girl. And so that was good. I mean, you never gave parents problems.
I guess. I mean, like it's just I don't even remember being a teen, honestly. I don't even recall.
I was picked on big time. When you have hearing issues as a kid, everybody makes fun of you. So that's why I don't care anymore on what people say about me. That's good. Yeah, because people, like, kids are so mean.
They are. They
Hello,
are.
James.
They are, man.
Yeah. And
Kids these
I
days,
feel
man,
very
like, just
special
can't.
to have cheated death many times. Complete believer of God, or I wouldn't be here today. Yeah, see? And and even, like, for us, like, I think somebody at one point in their life will experience bullying. I know you have, not maybe not in
Yeah.
school, but now as an adult, even adults, right? Bully other
yeah.
adults, which is kind of like, it says a lot about that person. Like, why are you trying to make other people feel bad, and so that just
Yeah.
goes to show what kind of person you grew up with, or you know and so, yeah, even bullying is just so tough, because kids, it's hard to handle, especially now when there's a lot of trauma and mental health issues. And even with the
Yeah,
shootings that are going on in schools, like, I didn't I didn't even that wouldn't even cross my mind when I was a kid, like, that somebody can come into my school and do something like that, until,
Yeah.
like, now that I grew up and I got older, and then I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, I why would anybody do this? This is just horrible."
Yeah. There's mean people out in the world,
Oh, hey,
it's
Blue
sad.
Screws, thanks. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
And so, that, I don't know, man. I feel like there's something going on, and it's sad and it's scary, because these schools are vulnerable. Like, definitely, I feel like something needs to happen to kind of make these schools safer. Maybe put, like, guards in every school. Like, what do you think? Like, what would keep these kids safe?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, like, I don't know. It's
And a lot of these kids too that are doing that is kids that are bullied, kids that are
yeah.
being attacked, and then they, somehow feel like they need to go out, back to the school and do something like that, which is horrible.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
It's unfortunate.
And then also in your teen years, that's the stage where, like, your brain, I feel, is not yet developed enough. I mean, because I feel like your brain's always developing.
Yeah.
But at that age, you don't think about the consequences or what's going to happen, or, like,
yeah,
you're just in adrenaline, you're
they do
high.
not think
Yeah.
about consequences. But validation and acceptance, I feel like that's a big one for them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like we've discussed, they like to experiment at that age, definitely. And the whole attitude
And then
of,
also,
like,
that's when you start thinking about careers. What are you going to do when you grow up?
yeah, because you're gonna graduate high school, and then you
Yeah.
need to know what you're gonna
You got to
do,
go to college.
Yeah.
All right. So
stage 3, early adulthood, ages 21 to 35. Adulthood comes in 3 stages, and complete independence characterizes the early stage. It's also a time of high individuality, finding your place in society and striving for personal success. At this point, you've got to decide what direction you want to get into and what you want to leave on the table. While many try out different jobs initially, most people commit to a career during this phase. After all, mastering valuable skills establishes your place in society. Popular starting points are studies, apprehenships, or entry level jobs. At this time, building your foundational skills is crucial. The same goes for relationships, where the focus shifts from validation to building the foundation for meaningful relationships. Through social interaction requires a proactive approach at this point, and you're more at risk of isolating yourself. Key characteristics at this stage of life: maturity is independence, role in society, building, personal growth, maximizing one's potential, learning phase, specific skill development, relationships, developing relationships, pitfall, isolation. Yeah, guys,
All
early
right.
adulthood.
Early adulthood was like the most fun I had. I'm just gonna say that because as soon as 21 hit, I had fun. I don't want to say like I was out having fun all the time, but I did have fun. I got to experience, the party scene and, all that. And yes, so that to me, I feel like that was, so far, it's been like probably the fun stage where you get to, start to work, you start to get a job, and then you get money, and then you can spend money on what you want and do things. So that's also like the age of independence. So yeah, I don't know. How do you feel
The
about that
idea
stage?
of building, sounds true, right? Building, maximizing your potentials, um developing relationships, right?
Mhm.
That's true. Like,
Yeah, and that's when you're starting to kind of date, go out and meet people, right?
yeah, be a little more on the serious side. And isolation, right? That's
Yeah,
one of the
that could also
pitfalls.
be that like you get out of high school and you don't have as much friends anymore.
Yeah,
Everybody's doing
things
their own thing.
change.
And so things do change, and some people, I can see how some people can isolate.
Yeah, things change.
Howie
People
did bring
change.
something up. Also, rest in peace to all the teenagers who lost their lives due to the fentanyl crisis. That's
Sad.
and that's the other thing that I was saying with teenagers, how like in high schools, this is going on, like drug abuse.
Yeah.
Yes, drugs and alcohol have ruined so many lives. Yeah. But I mean, even as a kid, like I feel like that, like there was always something in high school, like whether that be, people smoking marijuana back then. And when I
Yeah.
was in high school, that's what they would do. But what else would they do? I don't Smoking cigarettes. I remember that, like a lot of high school kids were smoking cigarettes. But now, like they vape in high school. Like I even had somebody that works at a school that told me that even now in elementary they've caught kids vaping. Like elementary, you guys. Okay, like that's crazy. And but the fentanyl, like I don't know, that's crazy to me. Like the fentanyl, like those crazy, and the kids, like overdosing. That's so sad. And now in our neighborhood, have you seen those Narcan ads that they have?
Oh, really?
They post it, like we have ads. What is it, like billboards that say, "Oh, have Narcan." Or have Narcan with you because it could save lives. And it's like,
Wow.
that's crazy to think that that it's a situation that's going on. Once you turn 21, a new world opens up for you. Yes, it does. I don't have any regrets. I lived it up when I was younger, starting at an early age. Crank was huge. Crank? Huge at high school. Yeah. I was smoking cigarettes in elementary with my friends. That's crazy.
Hi, paper
Hello,
chaser.
paper chaser. Yeah, like I don't know, man. Like my dad used to be a smoker. But he would do it like, I don't think he would do it often.
Uh-huh.
He used to hide. I mean, I feel like he still hides, but we kind of told him like you need to stop. Like this is so bad, and but just kids, seeing kids smoking, like it's kind of scary because they're so young. And so
Wow.
yeah, crank is a cheap version of coke. That's crazy. That's scary. And then even like laced weed, right? They lace it with stuff and then people like, or even shrooms now. Those are big too now. Yeah.
They're doing so much stuff these
Yeah, they're doing
days.
so much stuff. It's kind of like hard to keep up with
Yeah,
it.
and then yeah, I mean, yeah, they're doing so much
Oh,
stuff.
heck no.
And
That's
then
crazy.
somehow these teens look older. Right? I don't know what's going on.
What do you mean? Like they look older, like
Yeah,
than their
they don't
age?
even look like teens. I don't know what's going on. They don't have young faces. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
it's definitely like a different, generation for sure.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, where everything's
definitely.
changing. I
And
mean,
their
we're
priorities are
not
different.
like we didn't grow up like our parents grew up, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's only normal that our kids are not going to grow up like we grew up. Of course, we always want them to grow up to be better, and that's the goal of everybody. Like growing up to be better than your parents, right? Or to have a better life. So that's, I guess, that's, I don't know. One of my friends' mom would make us chew half of a cigarette when she would catch us. Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
Hormones put into food. Yes. Everything like
Yeah.
chickens, meat, ate GMOs, right? I mean, soy. Everything has soy now. And even childhood illnesses is going like skyrocketing, right? Like there's kids with diabetes and they're like in
Oh,
in
yeah.
elementary. There's kids with high
Yeah.
blood pressure. There's like, I feel like also like autism went up so much. Like as a kid, I don't remember it as a kid, but
it really has.
but
gone
I feel
up.
like it's very more you hear about it more now. Maybe because it wasn't, people didn't know what it was back then. I don't know, but it's sad. It's scary and it's sad and I don't know. But yeah, I agree with Jeff about the hormones and food, and like a lot of our food is, what is it? It's like they add stuff to it. So GMO'd up and everything. So all right. So the next stage is middle adulthood, 36 to 50. The next stage of life involves a transition of interdependence. While most people still aim for personal achievements, we enjoy it better if we can achieve success collectively. During this phase, most people seek to make an impact. Individuals master their craft to a degree and have a strong sense of what they would like to accomplish. Natural progression leads them into leadership roles in their professional and personal life. So what's the pitfall at that age? Some people worry about the idea that their best years are behind them, even though most aren't even past halftime yet. While there are still many opportunities, it's not uncommon to get stuck at this age and give up on your dreams, on the dreams you once had. So, what are the key characteristics at this stage? Transition from independence to interdependence, leading, reflection and acceptance, transitioning into leadership, deepening relationships, and losing excitement and no longer pursuing growth. I can see that. I can see where you get, as soon as you get to that stage, because I'm close, man. I'm about to hit my middle adulthood. And you start thinking, like, did I do everything I wanted to do? Like you start thinking that that's it. This is as good as it's going to get. I'm not going to be able to do, I can't go back, turn back time and start over. So I can totally see how people can feel like, oh, I guess I am accepting of this. So, and then you start to reflect, you do reflect a lot on life. and then you start thinking, I should have done this, I should have done that better. But then also it could be like a stage of, you're parenting, you have a family, you have other priorities as well. So um yeah, this is the age where you start feeling the most regrets. Yeah, I think so. Like I can see that you start worrying and then you think your best years are gone. Like that's it. And that's how I feel. Like, my young years are over. Like I'm just going, I'm about to like hit the top of the hill and then start tipping down. And then also, this is for me personally, when you start to have health issues, like health issues arise for some reason. And so I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I can definitely see like the reflection, between those that age range,
Mm-hmm.
and that you really do take the time to reflect on your life, where you're headed, right? Is that the direction you wanted to be in?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that leads to like, how can I like make the most difference while I'm here, and like deepening relationships, right? I feel like that's a really important one.
Yes.
Like how can I like really connect with the people I care about,
Yeah. And then also you have like already that established relationships at that point. I think, you start to just kind of cling on to those people, right? That make
Yeah,
you feel like yourself, or that make you feel safe,
you
or that
value it
that you
more.
value, yeah, you value your friendships more.
Hmm.
And then you kind of just want to keep those people around you. To
Yeah.
me, that's people that make me feel happy and make me feel you know um just myself. Like those are the people. And for me, like I'm going to share this. When after I had my kids, like I was going through like a little depression, and I think it's part of like pregnancy. And so the thing that would help me the most was being surrounded by people that I loved, and being surrounded by people that made me feel happy, and made me laugh, and just I could have conversations with, and they understood me and they would help me. And so I'm very grateful for that, for my family, because a lot of them would come over to, just to visit me and spend time with me. And I felt like that was what helped me get over that feeling, or those feelings, and being in that depression that I had. And so um
You know what? But I agree like with that comment,
hold on, let me
you
go up
know?
here. I went through life never understanding how to love. After I had my kids, I thought, wow, I love something more than myself. It was like a new beginning. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I think
that's what I always tell people. Like, you don't know what love is until you meet your kids, until you see your kids for the first time, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like I
yeah.
wouldn't do for these
Yeah,
little people.
because it's no longer about you anymore.
Exactly. And so like you have something more to live for, and then you just, it's like a whole ball game, like a whole different type of love. And so I agree with you, James. You two are awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, see, so true. You both just you both just blow me away. The future is bright with you both in our communities. Oh, I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Jeff, you start thinking about your own morality, and you start to lose people close to you, parents, grandparents. Yeah.
And I think like, when you lose like your parents or your grandparents, people you care about, that definitely leads you to like reflection. Like you have to come to a point where like you
Mhm.
accepted what happened, right?
Yeah.
But you do reflect on like the relationships you have with the people that are still there, and how you can like do better,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, while they're still there,
Yeah.
while they're still
And
with
that's the
you.
thing too, because in those years, like at, what is it, childhood and adolescence, you're not thinking about anybody dying, right? You're not thinking like, hey, I'm gonna lose
Yeah.
anybody, because for me, that's how it happened for us. And then as soon as like we got into, well, for me, as soon as I got older, and then we started losing family, that it just hit us. Like, dude, people are not, they're not going to be here
Yeah.
forever. And so then you start thinking like, this is tough. This is tough because it's true. You start losing people you love, and then
Mhm.
you kind of like, time kind of like just changes and things change around your life. And then you have to kind of cope with that and
You
try
do
to
have to
figure
cope
it
with
out.
that.
And so,
And then when you figure it out,
yeah.
you figure out like your comments said, you know, you have to cherish those you do have.
Mm-hmm. And then you start to kind of think about, wow, like it just hits you. They're not, you just gotta spend more time with the people you love because
Mhm.
you never know when they're gonna be gone. That's true, but then your daughter becomes a teenager and evil begins. Don't say that. I'm scared. I'm scared. Arlene, absolutely. My grandfather, she's talking to you, yeah. My grandfather raised me, and when he passed, I spiraled out of control and didn't care for a while. Yeah, and
You know,
that's
losing
tough.
loved ones,
That it's really tough.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, like we lost our aunt.
We lost our aunt and our uncle. We lost them pretty like
back to
close.
back,
Yeah, and two uncles, my aunt,
Yeah.
that we were close with, and that was
like
that was a really hard hit.
Yeah, it was a really hard hit. Like losing my aunt was definitely very difficult. Like we loved her so much,
Yeah.
and she was the sweetest person. So
Yeah.
like just coming to like just to reflect on the fact that like she was no longer here, and there was, you know, like how you can't, some people are just irreplaceable, you know.
Yeah.
And like how do you move on from that, you know? But like reflecting on it, you know, and being like, okay, well, value the relationships you do have, you know, and try to like conserve her legacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah,
And
just
follow her traditions, because
Yeah.
so for her, with our aunt, so we had our grandmother. She passed
Mhm.
away. You were pretty young, but you remember her.
Yeah.
And so she kind of took over our grandma role because she's the oldest, from my mom's side. She was the oldest sister. And so she took over the grandma role. And she would always, you know, take care of us. She would always bring us little gifts and pamper us and, you know, fill us up with love. And so it was really tough too. It was like losing a second grandma,
Yeah.
because she was always there for us. And, you know, for every special occasion, she
Yeah.
made sure she was there. And
Mhm.
so
And
it was really tough.
It was tough for like everybody in the family, right? I mean, it's still like thinking about it is still tough, but
Yeah.
I feel like one of the biggest things I learned was like, you know, you can love people like even when they're no longer with you, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that like knowing that is a big reason to like just love people in general. You know, love who you love
Mhm.
now, that you can like share that with them, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong. There's people that you love, but man, they get on your nerves.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
I love you, but dude, like, you just get on my nerves. Do not come around. Like, you're
Yeah,
crazy.
that's true.
And but still, like, even thinking about those people and, you know, the love you have for them, even though they get on your nerves, it's still tough. So
Yeah.
yeah, so see, these are good points that you guys bring up, like good conversation.
Mhm.
And that's what we appreciate when you guys put in
Yeah.
your comments, because we get to share
Mhm.
and kind of, you know, get to know you guys a little better. Okay, so we're getting to the adulthood, you guys.
Late
Adulthood. 51 to 65. So personal success becomes less important at this phase of life than helping others succeed. As a result, you enter total independence, and your role shifts from leading to guiding. You encourage and empower others to take the rope, and your ambition is to create and leave behind a legacy. After all, you start realizing your own immortality. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
But
pretty
like, so
intense.
it's like a point where you're like, you get that wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like ready to like share that
Yes.
with the younger crowd, you know?
And it can also be a very conflicting stage in life. Some people have not achieved their dreams and struggle to accept that.
Mhm.
Their children leave home and create a gap in their life, and feeling like failure becomes a bigger pitfall at this age. So, what are the characteristics? For your maturity, you're more independent, and your role in society is guiding, personal growth, creating a legacy, learning phase, passing on lessons, and relationships, enjoying deep relationships. The pitfalls are resentment and in inaction. Right?
Yeah, in action.
Inaction. So, dude, at this age, I could totally see that guiding the younger, right? The younger
Yeah.
people. Because you're in your 51, 65, and that's like our
Re-
parents' age.
yeah.
That's like, and so I totally see that.
That's like retirement age, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
my parents are like guiding us. They're guiding my kids. Make sure you guys do this. Make sure you know, they
And
try
it's
to teach us stuff.
it's definitely a whole different like them, right? Than younger them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the way that like they're just like more chill about things, right?
Yeah, they're like less angry.
Yeah.
And I think it's
And
part,
there's like less concern, you know?
but I think that's all a part of life. Like you just get to the point where you're like, you know what? Why am I even like stressing out about this?
Yeah.
Like I
think
can't
that's,
control
like-
it. I'm just gonna sit here in my chair in my front yard
Yeah.
and just chill with nature. Like I
Yeah,
don't need
you know,
to be
like-
stressed out.
really picking your battles. Like what are you gonna be fighting?
What is
for?
worth
Yeah.
fighting about?
Yeah.
Like, and even try to avoid the fights.
Yeah.
Like you're just like,
hey, it's
nah,
not even worth it.
I don't even
you
want to
know?
waste my energy on that.
Mhm.
Okay, because I'm like over the hill.
Yeah.
And so
Creating a legacy, I mean, that's a big one. You know, what are you gonna
yeah.
leave for the future generations? Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna teach them? What do you want them to
Yeah.
take?
Passing on lessons.
Yeah, like do you want to be known as that
Yeah.
angry amargada, like how we say it, amargada aunt? Or are you
Yeah.
gonna be the kind, loving aunt that we had?
Yeah. You know what? And I think about that, like that's definitely a lesson that she passed on to us, right? Definitely, like, nothing but good things. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so you also enjoy deep relationships. And so, yeah, that's definitely like you have to have these long lasting friendships
Yeah.
because who's going to help you when you get to your eldership, right? Like you want to have homegirl, like, hey, dude, come over because my back is killing me and I
My
need
back
some
is
help.
killing
You know what I mean? Like you have to have those relationships where you can trust these people that they're going to be there and help you and that they're going to like have your back, you know? If you get sick, I get sick, you know? Like but yeah, and I think that's super cool. Like super cool to have like people your age just have your back, you know, having those, what are those movies that we watched with the Last Vegas? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Last Vegas, and it's like a group of older men that like get
Mhm.
together and they go out and they go to Vegas and they're like trying to have fun in Vegas, but they're old, you know? And so it was a really cool movie. It was like really interesting. And then I think they just did a new one with older women.
Oh, okay.
The Brady, something for Brady.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't watched it though. I need to watch it. If we teach our children young the inevitable, they grow up to be more humble and appreciative of people, animals. Yeah, and that's true.
Yeah.
And that's when you have to start teaching them the importance of life, right? Like this is what's important. And then when they get to their teenage years, I remember like my parents would try to tell me like, oh, this is, you got to do this. Like I remember our uncles would always be like, you got to be a doctor, you got to be a lawyer, you got to be something that's going to benefit the family. And then I would just as a teen, I was like, man, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do. Like I want to do what I want to do. And then now I'm like, dude, they were so right. I should have been a lawyer. I should have been a doctor. I should, and
Hey, that would have been so helpful.
that would have been so helpful for me now.
Yeah.
And so at the teen years, you don't want to hear it from anybody.
Yeah, like just like the comment says, right? You can't pass on knowledge. Today's kids think they know everything. They do. They do think they know everything.
Yes, they do.
They really do.
And they will get on your face and be
They
like,
will.
no, this shows this, right?
They
And
will get on your face.
I can show you proof that that doesn't work. And then they start tempting, like try to like push your buttons.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They are built different these days.
Oh, we skipped that one. I think one of the biggest
disservices we do to each other is pretend that we're never going to die. Nothing is more certain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Hello,
That's true.
DJ Wrestling Inc.
Hi.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on and showing some love at our page because of Google. Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
AI is going to, yeah. And then now they have that new AI. I don't know if it's new, but what is it called? They were using it the other day on something where you ask it questions and AI like tells you the answers to everything. I don't remember what it's called. It's like a Google, but it's an AI. Celebrating my other grandfather 97's birthday tomorrow. He's Mexican and Apache. I look a lot like him. I'm hoping I live close to that age too. Man, happy birthday to your grandfather.
Wow.
I'm telling you, they were made different.
They were. Our grandpa is 100.
Yeah, our grandpa is like old. I'm telling you, like grandpa, I tell everybody, like my grandpa is a dinosaur. Like he is. Yeah, he's prehistoric. and he is a healthy man. Okay, like he knows what's up. He still fights. Okay, he still fights with people. Mm-hmm. He'll give people attitude. Like he gets mad, and he wants people to do everything for him. So
yeah, and he's very strong. He just hides it. He hides it.
Yeah. Yes, ChatGPT. That's the one that I was talking about, that I heard. I didn't even know that existed. I was like, somebody told me about it, and I was like, what? Really? Can it do my homework? Yeah, of course. Happy birthday to your grandfather. Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. I'm telling you, they're built differently because I am in like getting to my mid-30s already, and I'm already having like back pains. My knees hurt. Okay, like I'm always having like headaches. Like what the heck, dude?
You're always having headaches.
I'm always like something's up. It's crazy. Okay, so eldership. This is like senior citizens, right? Is it senior citizens?
Yeah, 66 and over, guys.
66 and over. So this is James's grandfather right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The final stage of life is about relaxation. It's when most people stop working entirely to enjoy their retirement. It's also a phase in which people reflect on their entire life cycle to learn to let go of worries they once had. Many people understand that the end is near and reach inner peace with that fact. It is also the phase of detachment. Your health and energy decline, the relationships dissolve as those around you meet their fate. And for some people, the maturity cycle completes as they become dependent to others again. So
it just goes around.
It's like a circle, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting, huh? It's interesting.
So maturity is transition from independence to dependence. Role in society, you're just relaxing. Personal growth, reaching the inner peace. Learning phase, detachment, and relationships, dissolving relationships, and pitfall is just regret. So that sounds so sad.
But makes sense.
Sounds so sad.
You're relaxing, you gotta chill. That's all you can do. And then, reaching inner peace is important, like you got to.
We just got started. Enjoy it. Yeah, no.
You do gotta reach inner peace because, I think that at that point you kind of know that you're gonna like
you're about to check out.
Yeah, so you gotta have at least peace within yourself, and I think that's why like there's detachment, because
and not only that though, like people start to pass away. People around you,
Yeah, and that's what I
your
was gonna bring up
friends,
too.
right? Like
Yeah.
family, like, hey, we're all, at that age, you're like checking out. But that's sad. It sounds sad,
It
you guys.
it does.
Like,
That sounds sad. That sounds
but
sad.
also you're relaxing.
Yeah.
You're like just chilling, like enjoying your time. Okay, like
Hopefully not too much regret, right? Like
not too much
hopefully you're
regret.
just like,
Hello, Nathaniel.
hi.
Pause, not stop. Correct. You took care of your kids. Now your kids take care of you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then what if your kids don't want to? They're like, hey, we're going to put you in a home. And that's the thing, like in our culture, like we take care like of our elderly, we don't put them in a home. And so I feel like that's a fear of like our family, like our parents. They're like, are you guys going to put us in a home? Like, I mean, I've been to like elder, like what is it,
the
like
homes aren't that bad,
dude, I've been to like a place where like it's like a really nice place. It's like a retirement home.
There's some homes that are cool,
and they're so freaking cool, dude. They have like
they have all
therapists,
kinds of stuff.
they have like physical therapists on site, they have nurses on site, they have like pools, and then they have all this like cute stuff going
Some
on.
of
And I was
them do
like
Zumba.
I'm like,
right?
I
All
am
kinds of
gonna
stuff.
check myself in here. Like I am ready tomorrow. Like I'll live here. I'm cool.
It's chill.
Yeah, it's like so nice. But of course, it's really expensive.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, until it can be properly governed. Hey, Truth.
Hey.
In stage 1, we wear diapers, and in the last stage, you go back
to it goes full circle.
Yeah. Oh, to spooky. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I was like, I was confused. Hey, Danny, how are you? We're Mexican. We don't put ours in homes. Yeah, we don't. Like, and I feel like my parents are scared of that. They're like, no, don't put me in a nursing home.
Yeah, they're like scared of nursing homes.
Some nursing homes are terrible. One nursing assistant trying to watch over 30 people. Yeah,
that's a lot.
And it's sad, it is a lot of work too. Like
it is
like we've seen it firsthand. Okay,
we have
like,
seen it firsthand. It is a
like
lot
our
of work.
sister used to have like a home for elderly, and
It's
so dude, it was hard work. God bless her soul, because that is a tough, man. It's a tough job.
Yeah, that was
and not only that, you see like a lot of these people, like they perish, they like, pass away.
It's sad too. It's sad.
You were there most of the time helping her.
Like it's just it's sad because sometimes they don't have no one there
when they take their last breath.
Yeah, like, and that's like, to me, that was like the saddest thing. It's like, dude, nobody was there with you like when you took your last breath. Like that's sad. And some of them do have like dementia, so they won't remember things 30 minutes later, or like sometimes they'll like see things before they pass. They'll see like loved ones who passed away, things like that.
And that used to scare you. I remember I would be like, dude, this lady was talking to somebody.
I know, like she was like saying that this person was there that wasn't. So yeah, but yeah, it's sad.
Yeah,
it's sad.
But I think it's all about like, it's the money. Like if you can afford like one of those fancy like places, like dude, do it. Like I said, I feel like that place was nice, man. I would live there now. But of course that you can't have your kids, like you can't have kids there. So but yeah, but it was really nice. It's so pretty. Yeah, I agree. Who wants to go to a I know a home. Side note, I think you need to teach kids love and instill them to care for those around you. Maybe that would prevent them from being sent away. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to say that's why I smoke cigarettes, so I won't have to those last diapers. Yeah, dude, like I don't know. It's crazy, like, Because then you start thinking about how am I gonna go, right? Like, is it gonna be crazy? Like, because you'd never know. It
Yeah.
could be anything. It could be, you leave and then one day it could be car accidents. It could be
Yeah, like
unexpected, or
nothing's
it could
guaranteed that you're gonna be old when you pass. Like it
yeah,
can
or it
happen.
could be like you do get old and then you're like what is it like how do you say carga?
Like a burden.
Like a burden on somebody. And I kind of see how some people don't want to be burdens on their family. They don't want to be just there and they have to be changed and they can't do anything on their own. And I can see that also being hurtful for you to be watching your family struggling with taking care of you. So it's kind of like it's tough, man. You gotta really love somebody. Like it's crazy. It's a tough situation. If I were the distant future and you could live for centuries, would you want to?
No,
Like if I would want to live forever,
I wouldn't.
why?
Because man, I feel like I already lived my life. I want to rest,
Yeah, like that's well, you and then plus is like are you gonna watch how your family like die?
Yeah,
And
because
you're
then
gonna
like
be
what's left for you? I don't know. No
uh,
thanks.
speaking to the burden topic, should people be allowed to choose when to end their lives? I don't know. And see, Nathaniel, that's the thing. Me being I'm Catholic, I don't agree with the assisted suicide, right? And I to me, it's kind of tough because this is my personal opinion, the way I feel is that there's a reason why I'm going through that suffering, because I feel like maybe it's something that I did in life, that or my sins. Maybe I'm paying for my sins. Like, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. That's a good question for people. What do you guys think in the chat? Should people choose be allowed to choose to end their lives?
Where
I mean,
everyone lives for centuries. I don't know. I feel like that'd be too long of a life.
for centuries, like a vampire? You mean like a vampire?
Like everybody's like the last one, like everybody's
Oh.
there, but I feel like it would be too long.
I don't fear death, and I want my ashes to be dumped out back to the earth. Oh, I see. Yeah. No, silly. You wouldn't watch your family die off. It'll be the future when everyone lives for centuries. I don't know. That'll be crazy, right? Like like everybody's living forever. Like, well, I mean, in the Bible, people used to live up to like 500 years, right?
Yeah.
Like that was their age. It could be 500 years old. I think scattered ashes is prohibited by the Catholic Church. I don't know. That's a good question. I know that some cemeteries have like a little place where you can put ashes. Like they have like little is it tabernacles? Or what is it called? No, not tabernacles. It's called what is it called?
I don't remember.
It's like in the tip of my tongue, you guys, where you put the body, like where you can put them in the mausoleums. It's a mausoleum. They have little mausoleums where they had little like boxes where you can put the ashes in there. We've seen it at that old cemetery. Remember? They've had ashes.
Crypts or what?
Like crypts, maybe? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why I said tabernacle because I'm thinking about the church. Oh, Nathaniel. Nathaniel. Okay. So yeah. So those are like basically the phases of life.
So do you got any like piece of advice?
I mean, live it up, man.
Yeah, live it up so you don't regret anything and love those around you.
But okay, really quick. Okay, so we're talking about when you're getting older, right? And you start to feel like, that's it. Almost so at the end, right, at the eldership, everybody struggles during every stage of their life or during some stages. But why rush getting through that cycle fast? Many successful individuals decide not to retire and keep building their legacy. Doing that gives you more time to screw up, experiment, switch careers, and develop various skills. So you hold the power to create your own life story. But what if you were feeling really behind, and you don't mean feeling stuck in your 20s or 30s, but in your 40s or 50s or even later? Can you still live an extraordinary life and achieve great things? So stay excited, seek personal growth, and have personal conviction and possibilities. Here's some inspiration. So Stan Lee, okay, like you guys know who that is. That's the dude from the Marvel. um, so he created Marvel comic superheroes in his 40s. Colonel Sanders started KFC at age 65. Ray Kroc opened his first McDonald's franchise at 52. And Toni Morrison only wrote his first novel at age 40 and ended up winning many prizes, including Pulitzer Award. And Sam Walton opened his first Walmart store at age 44. Julia Child is a celebrated chef who wrote her first cookbook at age 50, spending years in the media business. So yeah, let me see. So who believes the earth is round or flat? It's a cube. Nathaniel, dude. Flat. Watch videos. Oh no, I think that Jeff might be serious. Who wants to live forever? Family gatherings are large enough already. Yeah. So, yeah, so see, there's a lot of people thriving in their older, in their like, what is it? What was it?
The late adulthood.
Late adulthood. Okay, so it's never too late.
Yeah, it's never too late.
Eileen, like we can still do big things.
Yep.
So, 4 simple tips for dealing with turbulence. So each life season comes with its various ups and downs, and the winters can cause confusion and self-doubt. How to deal with that? So how can we deal with that? You want to read some of them?
All right, let's see. These sound interesting, actually. All right. The first step is looking at some of the common pitfalls during each stage of life. Did you fall prone to the common ones? If so, there's a lot of information that can help you get back on track. But 4 essential areas always matter. Relationships, social interactions are essential at every stage. And if you feel like this is lacking, make sure to reconnect with those around you. Alternatively, show up in places and build new relationships with uplifting and inspiring people. Physical health. When we feel stuck, we often stop moving our bodies, but it's crucial to keep moving, especially at a later age. Find an exercise routine that you enjoy and move often. Mental health. You feel stuck when reality doesn't meet your expectations. What to do about that? Accept your situation. After all, you can't change it at this point, right? Instead, take responsibility for what you can control. What can you do to move forward? Self-actualization. Everyone has a definition of success. Dare to dream and keep setting meaningful goals that motivate you into action. And yes, you can do this at any age. I feel like those are good, like build good relationships, right?
Maintain good physical health,
Yeah.
which I am not doing. Okay, that's already like a lack for me.
We're not doing that.
Mental health.
I feel like this is like a good way to put it. Like, like accept the situation you're in and, take responsibility for what you can control. And I feel like that's a really big one. You really got to take, like what you can't control,
It is what it is.
Yeah, accept your situation.
Move on.
Yeah, and just move forward. That's really all you can do. What happened in the past is in the past, and you just gotta, like, move it forward. Self-actualization. Yeah, that's true. Everyone has a definition of success. Whatever's most meaningful to you, right? Whatever motivates you most. Right?
So yeah. So, just enjoy your life.
And these are like some of the other stages.
Yeah, these are some of the theorists. So like we have Erik Erikson, Piaget. I learned about those in child development, actually. 5 stages.
These are so interesting.
Oh, 5 stages of a man's life. Do you want to get into that?
All right, let's get into it. Okay.
Listen up, guys.
Livingston defines the various seasons in a human life cycle by the challenges and tasks men must face. It's essential to complete these tasks each season before one can move to the next. The seasons are the preparatory stage, ages 0 to 22. The individual is learning about the world and preparing for the next step of life. The maturational stage, ages 22 to 45, establishing yourself in the world is the main focus at this stage. That includes working on your skills and finding your place in society. The settling down stage, 45 to 60, the main aim is to consolidate your place in the world. The stabilizing stage, ages 60 to 75, key focus on reflection. People retire to spend more time with their family and friends. The declining stage, ages 75 and over. The focus lies on leaving a positive impact on the world and creating a legacy.
Yeah. So it's all basically like teaching you the same, right?
Yeah, it is. And then this one was kind of interesting too, like just to get into it real quick. Erikson's stages of life, 8 stages. So number 1, infancy, from 0 to 1. It's about developing
the trust. And that's what I'm telling you. Like the trust is like
so
really important. Yeah.
Because that thing will follow you.
They need to know that they can trust
for, like,
you
the rest of your ages,
Mm-hmm.
So 2, toddlers, 1 to 3, is about curiosity and learning independently, right? Because they get to that point where it's like, oh no, don't help me. I want to walk on my own. I want to like discover stuff on my own. I don't want you to stop me. They kind of are at that point. Preschool, 3 to 5, about learning through social interactions, right? Kind of like, like
they learn from older kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Early school, 5 to 12, is about gaining self-awareness and cognitive development.
So their brain starts to like learn things.
Adolescence, 12 to 18, is about developing social connections and a sense of identity. And that's a big one, right? They're really about like identity, like who am I?
This is who I am.
Yeah. And then young adulthood, 18 to 40, is about intimacy.
Wow.
Middle adulthood, 40 to 65, is about generativity, yeah. And then late adulthood, 65 and over, is about integrity.
Yep. Hold on, let me see some of the comments. Such a great message about mental health.
Oh,
I think that's the one that you were talking about. I've had a lot of different jobs growing up, and now I'm living out my childhood dream, and I love it. Enjoy being a trucker. That's cool.
That's cool.
Thanks for doing that, man. We need our truckers.
Yeah.
Stretching and a good pair of shoes really help with those aches.
Yeah, you know what? A good pair of shoes. A good pair of shoes really does help.
For real, like Skechers. You cannot go.
Skechers. No, seriously.
You cannot go wrong. Even Snoop Dogg has Skechers now.
No,
okay,
no,
you guys.
Seriously, Skechers is really where it's at. They're so comfortable.
Yeah. Can your next topic be about the demonic AI? What do you mean? I don't know what that is. Can you let us know about that? I haven't heard about that.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, sometimes when 2 groups argue about something, I step back and look to see if both parties are right. And I don't know if possibly like maybe the earth squeezed are more making the flat earth. Yeah, I don't. Can you tell me what that is? I'm not sure what that is. You know what, Bama? I've seen people wearing those, and I keep wondering what are those, because I've seen a lot of people, like,
Yeah.
especially like like teachers. I've seen teachers wearing them, and then I've seen people that like are on their feet a lot. And then I was like, what are those? I want to try them on. They look like they're comfortable. They must be okay, because I'm all about comfort now. Like high heels for me, I don't know. I don't know. Last time I wore high heels, like my legs are giving out. Since you're a Catholic, have you heard of the Exorcist? Yes, I have. Malachi Martin. I used to hear him on Coast to Coast. He would talk about a lot. I'm sure James knows who he is, right, James? You know who Malachi Martin is? Those are amazing, comfortable shoes. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into those. Are you proposing that around Earth squeezed itself flat? You know what? I don't know how I feel about round Earth, flat Earth. What do you think?
I don't know,
You think it's round or
man.
you think it's flat,
I think
Eileen?
it's round. I think it's
Really?
round, yeah, because when I look outside, it looks round to me.
What if it's like an optical illusion?
It probably is an optical illusion.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. It just seems round to me.
What if it is flat? Would that trip you out? Like if they came back and they were
That'd be
like,
weird.
if they came back and they're like, you know what, this whole time we've been wrong. It's
I'd
flat.
be like, what? After all these years?
Why does the moon look like a ball?
Yeah.
Yes, the Art Bell interviews. Yeah, I would listen to him, and it would freak me out, Jeff. It would scare me, because like I don't like to deal with anything that has the D word, like I thought the earth was more egg-shaped. Yeah. So that's all we have for you guys today.
Yeah.
The stages of life.
Yep. It was interesting. It was an interesting topic.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it because,
Yeah, so did I.
I got to you guys got to interact a little bit about that and share, and we got to share our stuff too. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody that shows up and says hi and chats.
Yeah, everyone that joins.
But yeah, hopefully next week we'll be back with another topic for you guys. Yeah, but that's all we have.
Yeah, have a good weekend, everybody.
Yeah, have a good weekend and stay safe and enjoy your families and enjoy the time that we have, because we never know, right?
Yeah.
What will happen. And yeah, let's just pray that everybody's good. We're all good. So I appreciate everybody for coming by, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good weekend.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. It's all